see like a battery. I'm staying charged on my feet, I'm like a factory. Dropping lines like an assembly. I'm staying on point, it's my strategy. Feel like they tracking. How you doing, guys? Welcome to ZukaTube, and today we're going to be reviewing a movie called The Lost City. This just came out March 25th of this year, and I'm going to read this summary. I'll play the trailer. We'll talk a little bit about it. I'll give you my review, and then we'll go into some spoilers at the end here. Now, here's the summary they got for this, right? Reclusive author Loretta Sage writes about exotic places in her popular adventure novels that feature a handsome cover model named Alan. While on tour promoting her new book with Alan, Loretta gets kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire who hopes she can lead him to an ancient city which has a lost treasure from her latest story in her books. Determined to prove he can be a hero in real life and not just on the pages of her books, Alan sets off to rescue her. Right? Okay. And, it's like a very typical comedy. You see Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock are in this, and then you'll see a couple other people. You'll see the villain is Daniel Radcliffe, and you'll see Brad Pitt's in this as well. I'll play this trailer right here, and we'll get right into it.
You led me straight to the Lost City. Now,
to the Lost City.
There were just hundreds of snakes in this temple just waiting for us to show up.
What? Why aren't they biting that guy?
This is ridiculous. Delete. Delete. Delete.
Listen, Loretta, we need you to promote your new book on the Lost City. You can't spend your life in the bathtub drinking Chardonnay with ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's sexiest cover model, Dash McMahon!
You do know you're not Dash, right? Dash is a character I made up. Dash! Oh my god.
And he's very much into this character.
Miss Sage, I enjoyed your book about the Lost City, and I believe you're the one who can help me find its treasure.
I have to respectfully decline.
I'm afraid I must insist.
And Daniel Radcliffe's character is obviously ridiculous. It's very, typical, like,
Loretta Sage is missing.
like very campy.
I just want her to think of me as more than a cover model.
Let's start living dangerously.
Definitely Channing Tatum
Alan,
is
what are you
hilarious in
doing
this.
here?
We're here to save you. I'm certified CPR, I'm certified CrossFit. I have snacks.
Certified CrossFit, that's great.
This is like your book. We're on a Lovemore and Dash adventure right now. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. Let's go.
What are you doing? Don't do that. Oh god, get out of there. This is not a romance novel. Jungles eat people like us.
Ah, what is that? Get it off. Please. I can feel him.
And he's clearly like not a real macho adventurer type
Holy mother of
in
God.
real life, so that's funny for him to like try to go after her kind of deal and prove himself.
I could
So
actually find the Lost City.
it's a very silly and
If I
wholesome
don't get
movie.
to this island, my friend and her cover model are going to die.
I am driving. Oh! Oh!
Oh! Oh!
Loretta Sage, getting you out of here.
Why are you
This is
so
great.
handsome?
My dad was a weatherman.
Hey, whoa, she
love
doesn't
that.
need saving in there.
Okay.
What are you doing in there?
Yeah, so pretty ridiculous trailer, and I gotta say this is just a very typical like summer comedy adventure type movie, but it is very funny. And Channing Tatum, if you've seen him in some comedy stuff, he's great. Sandra Bullock's decent in this. Brad Pitt is obviously he's good in most of his stuff, and he's funny in this for sure. Daniel Radcliffe is a really good kind of crazy villain character in this as well. And I watched him in what was that The Guns Akimbo or whatever, and that was just a pretty funny and wild movie all around. I did a review on that as well. Okay, so basically this movie's pretty self-explanatory, especially in the trailer. She's an author, and basically you find out that her husband had passed away, and her husband was an archaeologist, and they went on adventures together and stuff, and digs together, kind of, the whole deal. And I guess she was writing loosely off of things that he had talked about or told her about, and kind of made up some stuff along the way and made it kind of like a romance adventure novel series, right? And it became very popular. And you find out that, you know, it's apparently a real place and it's sought after by people like this billionaire, you know, villain guy. And they basically kidnap her and are like, yo, you need to show us where this place really is. You know something that we don't know, and we don't know how you know it. And basically, when Alan finds out, the model, he's like, he had just recently like felt like he had disappointed her and not been able to prove himself as like any like real hero or stand-up guy to her in general, right? And they do kind of this almost love story-esque kind of thing with this, but it not quite as the movie goes on. And you know, I mean, granted, yes, they do it. It is kind of like a romance adventure kind of thing, but it's not too harsh into the romance stuff, especially not at all until towards the end of the movie. They make sure to do a real fun, you know, just wholehearted adventure movie throughout, and kind of comedy movie throughout the majority of this. And so basically he goes after her to try to find her and to rescue her, and in the process they get on this big crazy adventure out in the jungle. And at the same time, you know, Sandra Bullock's character Loretta does find out that certain things that she had wrote about were potentially real, that maybe even she didn't know were real. So there is that whole adventure of uncovering the mysteries. You know, I like any kind of like, you know, big conspiracy stuff. I love National Treasure and stuff. So this is all very fun to me. With that being said, I would give this movie a solid, like, maybe 7 out of 10. Yeah, like, it's average, but a little bit, like, maybe a little bit more than average. It's very funny. I do like Channing Tatum and the comedy that he's been doing in a lot of his movies a lot. And it was pretty fun, and it's a decent adventure movie. A lot of these type of movies I don't really watch again, but I definitely feel like this is one I would play in the background, because I do that with a lot of movies that Channing Tatum's been in. And now I feel like I'm going to be doing it with a lot more Daniel Radcliffe movies, because he's been pretty wacky with some of his stuff lately. With that being said, let's get into the spoilers section. Spoilers. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so at the end of this, you find out that obviously all this Lost City stuff is real, and you find out that the lost treasure is basically like not really anything big and extravagant or magical, but it's like the love of two characters, and it kind of is symbolic of the journey that, you know, Channing Tatum and her on in the first place by the end of it. And, you know, it gets all cutesy and lovey-dovey towards the very end moments, but they have this big epic exit, and, you know, they get out of there, and Daniel Radcliffe's character gets arrested, and, you know, everything is basically, you know how it goes, like, nothing was going to explode and destroy the whole city and everything until this moment. You know, and coincidentally, they're there for that moment, and they have this big getaway, and they get out the last second before everything is lost forever and the history is gone. But at least they got to see it, you know, that whole deal, like every movie. But it was very enjoyable. It's again, a very funny movie. And you see at the end, Channing Tatum and her, they get together and everything like that. Very cool. The characters are quirky and fun. And I definitely would watch, you know, more goofy movies like this for sure in the future. With that being said, I recommend it for anybody that wants an easy watch, something that's funny and that's got some cool like adventure elements as well. Again, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. This is The Lost City. Definitely check this one out. Zukatsu out. Feel like they tracking me. Yo, let me get on one. Not go get your tracks up. Homie, can I steal some? Homie, you can't stack up. My brother, can you shout me? You're barking up the wrong tree. My dog, why do you doubt me? Cause you can't do shit without me.
Real at the radio and never play it, but that's cool. The enemy's supposed to hate it.